All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. All right, everyone. Let's quiet it down a little. Shh. Thank you. Good afternoon, and welcome everyone to our 5,454th meeting of the Oakland Rotary Club. I'm Tom Limon. I'm the president of the Oakland Rotary Club. We were founded in 1908, and we are the third oldest Rotary Club in the world. There are over 36,000 Rotary clubs worldwide and in over 200 countries. Our club represents a diverse membership of 280 business, professional, and community leaders. Thank you. United to serve our local and international communities through a commitment to service above self. I'd like to welcome our friends on Zoom. I see Catherine, I see Miss Rika, Linda Chu. All right, welcome everyone. Okay, do we have any visiting Rotarians today? If you are a visiting Rotarian, please stand up.
This is it. Feel something happening over here.
Okay, are you a visiting Rotarian or is this a guest?
Hello, I'm Mary Jiang, past president of the number 3 Rotary Club. And I'm introducing Christina, who's from City National Bank. And welcome.
All right, welcome, Christina. Welcome.
Hold on. Well, let's try to see. Let's try it one more time, President T-Bone. We're looking for some visiting Rotarians, if I'm not mistaken, correct, sir?
I think we're on guests.
Okay, fantastic.
And
now we want guests.
All right, if you are a guest, please let's have your host or sponsor please introduce you.
Oh, good job, Ralphie.
All right, Keith.
Keith O'Reilly, mostly retired. My guest today is Ryan Richardson. Ryan Richardson is the Chief Assistant City Attorney for the City of Oakland, and soon will be hoping to fill Barbara Parker's seat, who is the current City Attorney of Oakland.
That's right. Welcome again. Okay, Ruth.
Hi, on behalf of Anna Marie Jones, I would like to introduce a table full of trash falcons.
Trash. All right, welcome Trash Falcons, and we would love to join you on one of your weekend outings. So we need to coordinate that, but we would love to do that in the first quarter of next year. All right, great. Okay, do we have any other special guests?
Yes, good afternoon, President Limon and fellow Rotarians. I actually have a guest Rotarian that I'd like to introduce who's on Zoom from the San Diego Rotary, Jim Besikoff, also known as Dad.
Oh.
And in the guest category today, Lainey is proud to be sponsoring today's meeting, and I would like to introduce and this person actually probably has been introducing me to people. Laney College's food services manager, Mr. Neil Bermenko. See, our student basic needs center coordinator and does so many more things for Laney College, Katrina Santos. And then part of 2 valuable members of the executive team at Laney College, the Vice President of Business Services, who always keeps us in the black, Dr. Detty Del Rosario. And a very valuable member who keeps the President's office running and at times keeps the President standing, Executive Assistant Arlene Lontaka. Good line every time.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Besikoff, and thank you to the Laney team that's here, and thank you, Jim, for joining us from San Diego. We're really proud to work with your son. He's a great addition to our club. Okay, do we have any other special guests? Curse.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce a magical lady, my wife, Kathy.
Welcome, Catherine. Okay, do we have any other special guests? All right, well, welcome everyone. Welcome to our club meeting. And Miss Carrie Hamill, I think you want to share your thought for the day.
Good afternoon, everybody. How about as a theme for this holiday season, everybody slow down? And yes, it's okay to do that for like a week during the year. And in that, on that point, I have a theme, which is by Humin Sunim. And it says, wisdom is not something we have to strive to acquire. Rather, it arises naturally as we slow down and notice what is already here. So I'm looking at a bunch of people that are the most generous and wise people in the world. So let's slow down and appreciate it.
Thank you, Carrie. No, thank you very much, Carrie. That's something I need to think more about, especially this holiday season. So today we have the distinct privilege of introducing 3 new Rotarians. So we have Bonnie Prestige, and Anna Marie Jones will be introducing her. We will be introducing Carrie Clausen, and Fred Morris will be introducing her. And we have Jerry Owen, and Jesse Schmidt will be introducing Jerry. So if you could all stand up and form a line, and Jason, if you could be our photographer for today, that would be great. And why don't we start with Anna Marie Jones, and she's been dying to do this, and she will provide a brief introduction and 2 interesting facts about Bonnie.
Hello, my fellow Rotarians. And welcome guests, welcome people online. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our newest Rotarian, Bonnie Prestridge. And on behalf of Bonnie's co-sponsor, Will Hobbs, we want to give you a couple of interesting things. First, by a show of hands, how many of you are involved in Rotary kid-related, young adult-related projects? Raise your hands high. Awesome. Then an interesting thing about Bonnie is that professionally, she is a life coach for young people, particularly as they navigate health issues, challenges, life, and to launch well into the world. So that's one interesting fact. A second interesting fact is that she speaks multiple languages. Other than English, Bonnie is fluent in Spanish and Portuguese. Pretty impressive. You should know that I've been stalking Bonnie ever since we met at Trash Falcons. And so this is a very, very big and happy day for us. So please, Rotarians, give Bonnie your warmest new Rotarian welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Bonnie. We're glad to have you. Fred Morris, would you please introduce Carrie?
Today, Carrie Clausen will become the 3rd generation in her family of Rotary Oakland #3 members. Her grandfather, Bert Clausen, joined Oakland Rotary in 1957, and her father, Kurs Clausen, joined Rotary in 1983. Carrie has been attending Rotary events as a guest for years, including a tour of the Oakland Zoo when she was in college, sponsored by Joel Parrott. And that led her to volunteering at the zoo, working with the warthogs, emus, wallaroos, hyenas, vervet monkeys, and meerkats. Carrie was born in Oakland and raised in Point Richmond, where she now lives with her 11-year-old twin boys. She has worked for W.B. Clausen Structural Engineers in various roles since high school. After college, she worked at Brickyard Cove Marina in Point Richmond for 15 years, where she managed boat slips and commercial real estate. She now manages Clausen Engineers. One interesting fact about Carrie is that in high school, Carrie decided to start volunteering on the night shift at the Marine Mammal Center, where she helped rehabilitate injured and sick seals and sea lions. Her father was curious about what she was doing past midnight every Thursday, and decided to tag along one night and ended up joining her as a volunteer. Another interesting fact about Carrie is that she was a volunteer organizer and official photographer for the 2,000-foot Etchells Worlds, a worldwide championship sailing event held in San Francisco Bay. Welcome, Carrie.
Great. Carrie, we're so glad to have you, especially as a third generation Oakland Rotarian. That's incredible. Jesse Schmidt, please introduce Jerry.
Thank you, President Tom. Good afternoon, Rotarians, guests, Trash Falcons. Good to see you today. I'm happy to be able to help induct my good friend Jerry Owen, and we're going to mix it up a little bit, and we're going to play a little game to introduce him. So this game is called Two Truths and a Lie. So I'm going to tell you 3 things about Jerry, and then I want you guys to decide which one of them is the lie. Okay? So the number 1 thing is that Jerry was born in Alaska. Okay, log that one away. Number 2, all right, Jack's already thrown in his 2 cents. Number 2 is that Jerry has 4 daughters. Okay, 4 daughters, log that one away. And number 3 is that Jerry once caught 20 fish inside of 2 hours. Okay, so let's hear it. Which one's the lie? I hear daughters, 4 daughters, 2, number 2. A lot of people for number 2. Will for number 3. All right, you're right. Number 2 people. Jerry has 1 daughter currently. She's about 1 year old. Her name's Malia. She's very cute. Jerry does also have another one on the way with his wife, Kim. Yeah, you can clap for that. Thank you. And they also have 2 dogs, which are as messy as 2 other kids. So please welcome my good friend, Jerry.
All right. And welcome in. The Rotarians here have heard this before, but these standing ovations don't come easy. This first one is free, but you can earn others by doing great work in our club. So I would like to present you both, or present all 3 of you with your new red badge. Okay, thank you. So your new red badge signifies you as a new member of our Oakland Rotary Club. You'll also receive in these bags the 4-way test, which guides Rotarians in their daily lives, and as follows. Is it the truth? Is it fair? You can join me on this, please. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. You will receive our Rotary Made Easy handbook, which provides useful information about our club and a club directory with your 280 newest best friends. Also included is your Rotary pin, as I mentioned. You can wear this proudly, and you could also visit Rotary clubs all over the world, and they will be so excited to meet you, being from the 3rd oldest Rotary club in the world. You will also receive our club's centennial book, written by our very famous Linda Hamilton, who will be on stage a little later. And this documents the past 100 years of Oakland Rotary's history. And your commitment as a new member is attend meetings, participate in 1 or more of our committees, practice service above self, and contribute annually a minimum of $60 to our Rotary Foundation and $60 to our Oakland Rotary Endowment. This is sort of a new thing, but it's $5 a month for each, and it goes to a very important cause and supports our work. So it's my privilege and pleasure to induct you as the newest members of the Oakland Rotary Club. So thank you. So we're gonna grab a quick photo. Great. Well, that's exciting. 3 new members today. That's really incredible. So to our newest members at the end of our program, we'll ask you to go to the exit, so with your sponsors, and so you can meet everybody as they leave. So thank you all again. So next up, this is an exciting day. Even though we don't have a formal speaker, we have a lot of activities, a lot of fun things. So one of the things I've been wanting to do this for a while is we're going to present a local hero award. And so we launched this Rotary Local Hero Award earlier this year because we wanted to recognize members in our club that are doing extraordinary things outside of Rotary. But there are so many amazing volunteers on our club that we also wanted to recognize them as local Rotary heroes. So today so our previous winners included Seth Butner, John Clausen, and Bob Barth. Those are 3 winners this whole year. And so we wanted to honor our next person. And so he's been a member of our club for 34 years. And our executive administrator, Jesse Bohl, will present the award to this year's winner. And if this person could start making their way.
All right. He knows. It's not a surprise. But come on up, Alex. At least I don't have to wear the birthday cap. Or maybe not yet. Anyway, I'll make this quick since we have a big meeting today. I think our club's hero awards to call out members who have gone beyond expectations to support the club and our efforts outside the community, in the community. But certainly today's award is one that has supported the club for 34 years. I don't exactly know what Alex did when he first started, but I know he must have been actively supporting someone back in 34 years ago. And certainly when I came on board 3 years ago, he has bailed me out when my laptop has stopped working, when my internet has gone out, when my emails freeze up. He's rescued me from the office once. He supported our AV team. Yeah, I know he supports the entertainment committee. And I hope I've thanked him enough for all that he does for me and the club. We have a lot of great members that, you know, do a lot for the club. I think Alex is really deserving of our hero award, and congratulations.
Jason,
It's already done.
I want one too. Well, Alex, stay up here. Stay up here. We're gonna ring the bell. Stay up here. You need to absorb this. You need to listen to our thought for the day.
All right.
Slow down.
Start ringing.
All right, Jack McAvoy, Shannon Ackley, Keith Uriarte, Joe Garalka, Dudley Thompson, Jason Weiselman, Ken Benson, Lorna Padilla Marcus, Seth Butner, Merlin Edwards, Daniel Chang, Steve Blair, Christine Watson, Karen Friedman, Fred Morse, Will Hobbs, Bob Barth, Ruth Straub, Jesse Bowman, Rosemary Darden, Dr. Rosemary Darden, Trish Connors, Ralph Sklar,
And I'll ring the bell.
Alex Paulson, and Tom Limon. Wow. Oh, Dr. Peter Sherris.
And Pat Williams online.
You know, let's give it up for Alex one more time.
All right.
So you have to forgive me when it's time to ring these bells. I know all of you, and your mind just goes blank up here. So you have to forgive me sometimes. I really apologize. Yes.
And Deep Rapachanda.
I'm sorry, one more time. Sandeep. All right, Sandeep.
No, Deep.
All right, well, thank you, everyone. So a bell ring to our guests and our new Rotarians is a $100 tax deductible donation to our Oakland Rotary Endowment. Okay, Dr. Rudy Besikoff, I think your time is here. So today we have a Rotary meeting sponsor. And so for $250, you can plug your program, you can shamelessly promote any event, you could even offer it up to a nonprofit to promote their event. So Dr. Rudy, please come up. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you, President Tom, and good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I'm Rudy Besikoff, proud president of Laney College, and it's a pleasure to sponsor today's meeting and talk to you all today. I am going to talk about Laney, but I'm going to uplift all of us today, and I'm so pleased to do that. And I want to start by uplifting my team here at Laney College. Next slide, please. So the genesis of sponsoring today's meeting comes from this announcement. Ending a second full year of this initiative, the spring semester at Laney College will once again be free. To keep the initiative going, what we are doing is we're asking our students to enroll in 6 units. We do have some exemptions. For example, if students are close to graduating and don't need 6, then that's fine. But the effort continues using our resources. Students who sign up will be available to get a free AC transit pass. Parking will be free. We'll be providing technology support. We'll also be funding, at least in part, our textbooks. And then Neil Bermenko, please stand up. Since the onset of the pandemic, we have distributed at Laney College over 170,000 meals. Is that accurate, current? Okay. Now, Neil, even before there was a president, Rudy Besikoff, there was a food service manager, Neil Bermenko, and he's been part of it at the beginning. But I don't want to stay standing. If you have come to Laney College and participated in the effort, please stand up. Next slide, please. Of course, you know, having spring be free is one thing, but getting the word out is another. And as we near the beginning of the semester on January 23rd, we will be holding 2 one-stop Saturday events on campus. They will be on January 13th and then on January 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. What that means is people in the community can come to Laney as prospective students and leave as students. And that's really, that one-stop aspect is something that we want to drive. Also, you'll see a flyer, actually, one other thing, this was actually on the previous slide, is that this semester to our current students, just to make sure their questions are answered, we are holding info sessions to support them. Next slide, please. As always, our community outreach efforts continue. We're out there, and one step, of course, is coming and talking to all of you, my fellow Rotarians, something that, of course, is precious as always. Next slide, please. But most precious really is Oakland Rotary, and I want to say thank you to you today. We recognize the many of you who have come forward and helped with our food distributions. Well, I also remain grateful for the gift of the 100 turkeys for Thanksgiving from Rotary. Thank you very much. Also, on the 12th, the generosity does not stop there. Thank you so much, fellow Rotarians, for your agreement to participate and contribute to our toy drives and our coat drives. And Katrina Santos, could you please stand? As part of the effort with our coat drive, having our basic needs coordinator here was something that was absolutely important today. But you know what? It doesn't stop there. So I'm driving and I've got my usual presidential stress going, and I get a call and it says Karen Friedman on my cell. And I'm thinking, what did I do? You know, that was my first impulse. But with that came the very happy news that with the proceeds, the voluntary gifts given for the efforts that John Clausen has been really leading to serve corn dogs at events on our campus, a $500 donation is actually going to be made to the foundation to support Laney College students. So once again, thank you, Rotary. As you all know, I typically stick around after meetings. It seems to be when I get to do my presidential business from 12:30 to 1. But my contact information is there on the screen. And next slide, please. As always, thank you so much for the support. And it was so great to get to be able to sponsor today.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Rudy. And again, thank you to everyone who brought a toy, a book, or warm coat today. If you did not have an opportunity to do that yet, you can still coordinate with Jesse and drop it off even by tomorrow morning. He'll be here this afternoon also, but thank you all to all of you who did that generous donation. So next we have, we want to recognize some Paul Harris Society, some Paul Harris Fellows. So let's see. Would I do it for this? Can I have the list, Kristen? Okay, so during the pandemic, we were not able to recognize people who achieved the status of Paul Harris or achieved a higher level. So we would like to recognize them and present them with their pins. If Deborah Barnes, Jesse Bodle, Pam Clausen, Greg Annis, Ruth Straub, Steve Blair, Keith Giron, Rosemary Darden, David Douglas, Daniel Chang, Celeste Gordon, and Carrie Bukovic. If you could all come to the stage so we could recognize you. So as they're coming, so funds donated to the Rotary International Foundation fund our Rotary projects all over the world. And did you know our club alone is involved with service projects on 5 continents currently? The Rotary Foundation recognizes individuals who contribute $1,000 or more annually or over time to the annual fund, Polio Plus, or other approved foundation grants by inducting them and achieving higher levels in the Paul Harris Society. So to help our members achieve Paul Harris and higher levels, our club will match $500 to help our members achieve their first Paul Harris levels. So today we recognize these members for enabling Rotary to make an impact on individuals and families and entire communities. So let's again give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Photographer Jason? Oh, okay. All right. So if we can make our way down, we'll get a picture together. No? Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I want Tom to give me a kiss.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
So thank you again to Christine Watson and Pam Clausen and Joe Garalka for their leadership in making this all come together today. So President-elect Shannon Hackley, where are you? So President Shannon Hackley wanted to make sure all of our Rotary members were taken care of, and so she helped create the We Care Committee. And so today is a big birthday day. So we celebrate our birthdays on the first meeting of the month. So if we could show the next slide, we'd just like to show you whoever's closest gets to wear this. So Rosie Torres, Nick DeAsia, Toby Ukandu, Hong Touch, Anna Cretion, Marilyn Galeoth, Eric Onstadt, Bob Peltz, Jimmy Polito. Anyone here? Stu Epstein? Teresa, okay, yeah, all right. Teresa, you're the lucky winner. You get
It's
to
gonna match your jacket perfectly. This is ridiculous. Like she knew this was coming.
You get to wear this next week too. All right, so if we could show the next slide too. So let's just sing Teresa and everyone else a happy birthday. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. All right. So Greg Annis is going to make an announcement about a program that he's working on, and he needs your help.
Good afternoon. I'm here to make an announcement as part of the Enterprise Institute Committee. As Rotarians, we are all looking for a way to make a direct impact to our community. Enterprise Institute is a camp uniquely designed by the Rotary Club of Oakland to have a direct effect on the youth of our community. This camp takes high school juniors and seniors to a bucolic redwood setting in Aptos, California, just south of Santa Cruz for 3 days, and teaches them skills such as entrepreneurship and leadership. Enterprise Institute also gives students a way to get away from their environment for 3 days and reset. Next year, Enterprise Institute is April 26th, 27th, and 28th. What we need are adults to mentor, chaperone, and help facilitate events at this camp. We are reaching out to all of you now because there is a youth protection process that all participating adults must go through. This process will contain a live scan and background checks. We want to give folks that are interested in participating enough time to go through this process. The club can help in this process as well. Additionally, we are having an informative pizza and bowling night at Bolero in Alameda on December 16th. This is primarily for students that are interested in attending, but any Rotarians are welcome to attend to get information and to have some fun bowling and eating pizza as well. Enterprise Institute is an extremely valuable program that our club continues to provide for the community. However, we need more Rotarian involvement to keep the camp going at the standard it is today. If you're interested in attending the camp as a chaperone next April 26th, 27th, and 28th, you might not know you have in your calendar yet for those dates, but hopefully you're available. Or if you would like to attend our event on December 16th, please email committee chair Harold Lowe. The email address is on the screen. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's a very special program. I mean, these kids, they go to Aptos and they are just blown away. And some of them, you know, they've never had that experience being away from home at such a young age. But it's really special, and I know several of us here were there last year, and it was exciting. And Harold was actually one of the first participants in that program, so it's really amazing for him to do this 40 years later. So Ken Benson. Oh, okay.
Snuck up behind him. Hi, I'm Ken Benson, chairperson of this great committee, the Community Services Committee. Next week is Feed the Hungry. Please come. Bring your bell ringing hands and feet. We need to raise more than we did last year. Last year, we distributed $30,000 to these 6 organizations that you see floating on the screen. One of the things we do in community services, the other is we make grants to nonprofits making an impact in the community of Oakland around things like culture, arts, service to the elderly, the homeless, and the unhoused. Please, if you're interested, We would love to have some more new members after the first of the year join us. Be like Allison Bliss. If you're new to the Rotary Club of Oakland, this is a great committee to join to learn more about the community of Oakland. Thank you, and please ring that bell next week like there's no tomorrow. Thank you very much.
All right, Jack and Jason, I think one of you is struggling with technology and getting into the 20th. You're still kind of stuck in the 20th century, so come on up and let's settle this.
Let's settle it. All right, Jackie boy. You know, I'm planning on paying my recent bell ringing for the lovely Alex P today, so I brought a wad of cash with me.
Why, what is that? That's that green stuff with dead presidents on the picture? I mean, what is that? I don't deal with that.
What do
is
you,
that?
I bet you still carry your checkbook.
No, I haven't used a checkbook in years.
What? Well, how do you pay your bills?
Well, I use a credit card or apps like PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Square, Apple Pay, etc.
Yes, but here at the third oldest Rotary Club in the world, we can use checks to pay our Rotary bills, can't we?
Well, ORC has embraced the 21st century by processing all payments on credit cards.
Isn't that going to be complicated?
Not at all. Not at all. Jesse, you got a Square
right here.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
I'm going to hand over my credit card.
just tap it. All you need to do is tap it.
Just tap it?
Yep.
Thank you, sir. You're done.
Yeah.
Feels like my children.
Jesse, as long as we're doing this, why don't we hit him as a major donor for ORE at 10 grand?
And Rotary
And
Foundation
$2,000
probably too, because we gotta
Foundation,
forget, we gotta
same
still
thing.
get money for Rotary Foundation.
Yeah, let's do all that
That's it.
sort of thing. So, great,
Oh,
super.
Great.
Okay, moving along.
Wait a minute. I think this is going a little too fast.
Well, that's the whole point.
Yes, exactly.
It's supposed to go fast.
Yes.
And easy.
Yes. Well, I get it. No bills to be mailed, no checks to be written, no hassle.
And Jesse can collect your credit information and set up an automatic monthly, semi-annual or annual payments for club dues.
That does sound nice, but what happens to our credit card information? Will
credit-
Jesse carry that around in his back pocket?
No, he's not carrying it in his back pocket. The data will not be involved or shared in any Rotary computer or Jesse's pocket. It'll be stored and received in a secure third-party account.
Well, I guess I'm ready to enter the 21st century with you, younguns, but I have a small problem.
A problem? What's that?
I just ordered 1,000 new checks from my bank.
No, that was, besides being a really stupid thing to do, that
wouldn't be the first time you tell me that.
That's
Yes,
exactly right. What you should do with those checks is you have a closet at home. So take the checks and put them in there with your fax machine, your landline, your 8-track player, your typewriter, and your encyclopedias.
We're heroes.
That was not what you expected. All right. So Jack, I'm having problems with my computer. Can you help me after the? All right, thank you. All right, Michael Bruck.
Thank you, President Tom. Well, December 14th, next Thursday, is our last meeting before our holiday break, and there's no better way to celebrate the holidays than to eat cookies. We invite all of you to bring 24 or more of your favorite holiday cookies to share with everyone here in the ballroom. For those of you attending on Zoom, our crack AV team is going to hold up each and every cookie to the camera so you can have that virtual cookie experience. Please bring some copies of your recipe for those of us who are so impressed by your baking skills that they're going to run home and turn on their ovens. President Tom is giving me some special inside information about some of the cookies we may expect next week. Kimberly Miller of Children's Fairyland is going to probably be sprinkling some fairy dust on her cookies. Mark Rosen and Alec Paulson are going to be mixing in computer chips in their cookies. Alita Scola's cookies, each of them will come with a little tiny frame around them. And Nick DeHasia from the Oakland Zoo is going to have zebra stripe cookies. And I think past President Mary Jong still has a few fortune cookies left from her inauguration. Flyers are on your tables. See you next week.
Okay, Peter, I'm gonna fly through the next few items. So last week was the Oakland Interfaith Gospel Choir Holiday Concert and it was amazing. I was so glad to be there. It was the first time I'd ever gone. And so we have the opportunity to support Carrie Bukovic's organization, the Piedmont East Bay Children's Choir, this Saturday night. Jesse has tickets. If you would like tickets, you can reserve. You put your name down with Jesse and he could even swipe with a cool little square device that Jack's introducing us to. So please support it. Also, Christmas Carol, they have shows. So we have a 20% discount for the preview shows and opening night. So there's actually a show tonight through the weekend and next Wednesday's opening night. Also, please register for the big party at Fred Morris's house. All right. Someone told me they're going to toilet paper his house. I hope not. But we also, you can register for that on Eventbrite. And then we also have the next slide, which is we have these hats available. And so these are $20, but we're going to make it a little sweeter. We're going to throw in a $50 gift certificate to Bevmo for one lucky person who wears this hat at the party. So be sure, weigh it, but it sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And on your tables, we have Eventbrite. That's our link to our Eventbrite. And Mary Jiang, I think you were visiting a Rotary Club someplace. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Welcome, past president.
Good afternoon. So there's a custom that Rotarians do. Whenever you go visit somewhere, like another state, another city, another country in the world, you can call them, say, hey, I'm visiting you in this town. I'd like to visit your Rotary Club meeting and find out. And then we have a tradition where you will exchange a flag with the other club. So I went to Washington, D.C. during Thanksgiving week. I found the Washington Rotary Club and they had a meeting and it was fantastic. They had a nice, 3-course buffet lunch for $35 at a private club. So I met Lisa Cohen, who's the first African-American woman president of the Rotary Club, which is almost 100 years old. Yeah, so we need to catch up with that. So anyway, I like to present a Rotary flag to Tom Lamone. And the reason why is that you guys go visit, bring back Tom a Rotary flag. He's counting how many flags he gets this year. And I had about 30 last year. Okay, take picture.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. And again, you can go all over the world and visit a Rotary Club and you never know who you'll meet. It's really a special opportunity. So Linda Hamilton, will you please lead us through our fellowship moment? And if you're on Zoom, we will have a breakout for you.
That's right. It would be my pleasure. Thank you, President Tom. Hey, everybody, how are ya? Woo! So we may not have a speaker today, but we have 300 of the most interesting people I know right here, and you get to find out about them. Today, your DEI committee offers the fellowship moment, designed to deepen our connections and understanding of each other as Rotarians and fellow humans. It is an effort to get beyond the handshake and invite us to learn more about one another. So what we're going to have you do is pair up with one other person at your table whom you don't already know well, or you may think you know, but you don't. And we're going to take turns asking each other the following question. How do you enjoy spending your alone time? Okay, how do you enjoy spending your alone time? For those of you at home and on Zoom, you're also going to be in breakout rooms with one other person. We don't know who it's going to be yet. All right, you will each have about 2 minutes to talk about what do you like to do to enjoy spending your alone time. And then I will let you know when to switch. You got it? All right, here we go.
Are you doing? Oh,
Yeah. Yay, the people from Zoom are back too. Woo! Give each other a hand. Aren't you interesting? You are interesting people. Thank you so much for your fellowship. And I'm going to get back to President Tom.
All right. Thank you, Linda, and our DEI committee. So thank you. Okay, so thank you all. We will do these monthly. I know last month was a little hard with our schedules, but we really appreciate the DEI committee and everything that they're doing to create this, really connected club culture. So last year we conducted a club survey that was studied and reviewed and provided useful insights and feedback to improve our club culture. Our guest speaker today is Michael Gregor, and he will share the results from our recent club survey. The board and I found this feedback very valuable and demonstrates the value of an annual survey. So Michael Gregor is with Liberation Labs with his partner Viva Asmalesh. Michael has become a trusted partner for bold leaders with a hunger to change how their organizations collaborate and work together. His approach brings together the core principles of equity and inclusion, change management, human-centered design, and co-active coaching to create experiences, processes, and moments that lead to transformative results. Please welcome Michael Gregor. So I have slides.
Perfect. Thank you, President Tom. Thanks for having me, everybody. I'm happy to be here. I'm just going to give you a little overview of survey results from this year and a little bit about the learning plan that the DEI committee has come up with for this coming year. So first, a reminder of what you all did last year. This was work with my co-founder, Viva. So she looked at multiple data sources and gathered many perspectives to come up with a clear set of recommendations. This is the list of all the things that she did last year. It was a lot. It was like a comprehensive view of the club. And this was the beginning of including thoughtful DEI questions in the annual member survey. This year, if you go to the next slide, was just focused on the annual survey and learning plan. So I want to, if you could, sorry, go back one more. The reverse, there we go. So you conducted an annual member survey and developed a learning plan to improve member dynamics and advance DEI goals. And I just want to acknowledge that an annual survey is an important best practice, and I applaud you for continuing to do it. I hope you do continue to do it in the future. Many organizations do a survey like this to really track change over time and keep a finger on the pulse of member perceptions and experiences. And the more you do it every year, you'll gather more valuable data that should directly inform your practices and programs. So let's talk about what we learned. I've already shared this with the board, and there's a more detailed report that's available too if you want to dig into the details. So let's go to the bright spots. And what I'm going to share with you today is just high-level results, right? There's a lot more detail that I don't have time to go through. And I want you to keep in mind that this analysis is only from these survey results. So we didn't do like focus groups and meeting observation and one-on-one conversations. That's a lot of the work. That's all of the work that Viva did last year that went into her big report, which many of you might have seen. So this is a more simple kind of overview of just what we learned from the survey results. Okay, so bright spots. First, increased survey participation to 55% of active members. Great work on getting 146 people to respond. This included an increase among people of color and female respondents, which is good news. We're getting more useful data, more useful input from more people. Many people, let's go ahead and hit the next slide. Yeah. General sense of satisfaction and pride of affiliation continues among members. So many people really love being a part of this club, and this is a foundational strength to build on. So good job keeping that up. Let's go to the next. Yeah, almost half of respondents were female. So you have more female representation than other clubs, and it's important to intentionally maintain this level of inclusion. So don't let that slip, something to be proud of. In general, you're moving in the right direction. So member experience is gradually improving in this second year of the survey when we compare results to last year. So good job. There's a lot to be proud of here. Throughout this presentation, I want to throw in a few quotes of things that folks directly shared in the survey. So there's a lot of open-ended comments in the survey. I'm going to share a few representative quotes with you. So here's one: we've made good progress toward belonging and valuing diverging opinions, though I feel there is a lot of work to be done. Let's go to the next slide that shares another quote. I feel part of an interesting and loving family. These are kind of representative. There are a lot of comments to sift through, like hundreds. So I just kind of pulled out a few that were representative. So let's talk through the challenges that showed up in the survey results. Let's go ahead into the first one, which is welcoming the diversity of Oakland. There have been slight improvements here from last year, but the pool of survey respondents still does not represent the demographic makeup of Oakland. That might not be a surprise to you. If we can go back and stay on that slide, that would be helpful. Some members who responded to the survey believe that the club does reflect the demographic profile of Oakland, but the data does not confirm that. And there are three particular areas. One is along race, another along age, and then transgender and non-binary representation. And I just want to say, as a advisor and consultant to you, that fully representing Oakland is an ongoing journey. I think many of you know this, and you'll need sustained investment over many years to get there. Time, money, energy, and attention. And you're not alone. There are plenty of other white-founded organizations who are also on this journey of diversifying to represent the communities that they serve or the communities that they are in. In open-ended responses, many survey respondents mentioned various challenges around inclusion, belonging, and representation. I want to just share a few opportunities around this challenge that I see. So there's an opportunity to continue educating members about the interpersonal and systemic barriers to inclusion, especially along lines of race, gender, and age. There's an opportunity to create intentional goals and practices around how you welcome new members entering a space where they may not be in the dominant group. And there's an opportunity to invite people of color and young people into positions of leadership and responsibility while asking what they need to be successful. In this presentation, I just want to share a few helpful mindsets that I want to invite you to try on, see how they feel, see what they might mean for you. What I'm going to suggest for this challenge is those of us in the dominant group have the power to make this a safer place for people of color and young people. Just trying on that mindset, see what that might bring up for you. Let's go to the second challenge, which is engaging and retaining young people and working people. Of course, this is critical to the club's growth and future, right? We need these folks to be a part of the club. Comments here included a range of interrelated topics around time commitment, scheduling, and new people taking on meaningful roles. There's a lot of themes there in open-ended comments that we looked at. There's some opportunity here about creating an intentional scheduling and time commitment strategy that prioritizes working people, and to learn more about what helps younger people and working people meaningfully engage in committee work. Because I've learned that a lot of the action happens in committee work, right? And that's where a great place for people to learn, stay involved, practice their leadership, and do meaningful work. So a helpful mindset to try on here for this challenge in the next slide is, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to scheduling and time management. We can change our culture to adapt to the needs of working people and younger people with limited time available, but a hunger to be involved. And this might include rethinking committee work and changing long-held traditions about the times we hold regular events. So just something to try on and get curious about. Let's go to our third challenge, building understanding and transparency. So the data in this survey showed some recurring experiences and opinions about information that members want access to, but have a hard time getting. So this included things like grant selection, budgeting, committee structures, desired outcomes, minutes, and decisions. There's a desire for more clarity and easy access to information. Let's go to the mindset I want to invite you to try on for this one, which is that building a transparent culture means adopting consistent and intentional practices that help information flow freely. We're on the lookout for any withholding or hoarding of information. Now, I want to acknowledge that it can be tough to make information flow freely and easily in a complex volunteer-run organization where information is probably housed in many different places, right? Including in many people's brains, right? So it's tough, and it's still imperative to build cultural norms and expectations around over-communicating everything making it easy to find things, helping people find things, building that culture where if somebody is looking for something, it's easy for them to find, and continuously pointing folks in the right direction and thinking about how are people going to access this information? How can I make it easy for them? All right, let's go to the fourth challenge, navigating dissent about DEI and politics. So I just want to note that there's some amount of dissent, resentment, and confusion about how the club's DEI work about the DEI work and how politics show up. It's unclear how wide this sentiment is, but I wanted to mention it because it's important to just be aware of it. There's always a possibility that some members may seek to block work that intends to prepare the ground for underrepresented people. This often shows up when white-founded organizations try to diversify their membership. So I saw a little bit of that in some comments here and there, and I wanted to just raise it as something to pay attention to. I especially talked about this with the board, as the board members and other leaders in the club can consider how you will respond to this, right? And what conversations might arise here. I recommended to the board that they be really aligned and intentional about responding and stay committed. So the helpful mindset I want to offer here is when we are steadfast in our focus on DEI goals and prioritize the needs of people facing marginalization, we make the club better for everyone. We communicate about our DEI goals and intentions often and learn about how members perceive them. So it's an ongoing, probably many-year conversation and process. Let's go to the next slide. I wanted to show some differences across identity. One of the cool things about doing this survey and asking detailed demographic questions is that you get to compare changes from year to year and compare changes based or differences based on identity. So there are a few little differences here based on identity. If you remember the survey, it had a lot of statements that people were asked to rate how much they agree with. There's a statement, oh, it's like hardly even visible on the screen. I apologize for that. More female members disagreed with this statement, which is, I agree with how RCO grants are chosen. That's the first one that you can't read. The second one, more male members disagreed with, we do a good job of welcoming and involving new members. And then the third area, Gen X members disagreed more than baby boomers on two statements. One is, I feel regularly connected to the core values of RCO service, fellowship, diversity, integrity, and leadership. And the second statement was my opinion is valued, both within the committee and across the rest of RCO. So just some things to be curious about. The last area does align with challenge number 2 that I mentioned about engaging and retaining young people and working people. So things to get curious about and investigate more. Let's go to the next slide and just talk about year-to-year change. Now you've been at it for 2 years, so you have some comparison. You had more participants this year, and you had an increase in agreement across most of the Likert scale statements. So the agreement went up, which is good in most of the cases. For both years, there were 2 statements that had the lowest total agreement, which again, you cannot read. I feel we reflect the demographic profile of our geographic area, and we do a good job welcoming and involving new members. So those 2 agreement did increase, but they're still the lowest rated overall. So places to keep focusing on, and good job gradually improving them. Okay, let's just go to the learning plan. So the DEI committee has a learning subcommittee. One of Viva's top recommendations last year was to offer DEI education, especially for board members and committee members. So this plan that I'm going to share with you now comes out of that recommendation and this year's survey results, which confirm that education and skill building are needed. So the learning subcommittee drafted this. You can read it here. Oh, that's very illegible on the screen. It's very small. Yeah, President Tom can send out these slides to you, so it's more accessible. I apologize for that. That was not my intention. This shares the new practices that we would like to offer to board members and committee chairs from a DEI perspective, and includes the 4 topics that we want to work with members and board members and committee chairs on. I'll just read out the 4 topics. Inclusive meeting facilitation, personal identity, power and privilege, unconscious bias, and microaggressions and how to respond to them and prevent them. And I just want to briefly ground this work in Rotary International's commitment. If we can go to the next slide, this one should be legible. Recognizing that individuals from certain groups have historically experienced barriers to membership, participation, and leadership, we commit to advancing equity in all aspects of Rotary, including in our community partnerships, so that each person has the necessary access to resources, opportunities, networks, and support to thrive. That is from the Rotary International DEI commitment. And what the DEI committee has come up with is in line with that in terms of education for this year. Let's just talk briefly about the learning activities for this 23-24 year. We're going to offer workshops for committee chairs and board members on inclusive meeting planning and facilitation and personal identity, power, and privilege. Those dates will be announced soon. And then for all members in these meetings, these Thursday meetings, servicing and mitigating unconscious bias on January 18th, mark your calendars. Understanding microaggressions and preventing and responding on April 18th. Those will be hosted by Viva and I together, my co-founder and business partner. That's what I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So Michael is generously going to offer some time. If you have some questions for him, he'll stick around for a few minutes. And my commitment is to get you out of here in a timely manner. So Michael will be making a donation in your name to the Ann Waddell Swim Scholarship Fund through the Oakland Parks and Rec Foundation. And so thank you again, Michael. The leadership has been very intentional with following these directives and intentions and trying to make the club more inclusive for all ages, for everyone. And that's our commitment as part of DEI. And as Michael mentioned, in the committees is really where you make your relationships with other members, you learn, you're mentored by other people. So for me, it's been a huge opportunity in professional development, and I encourage all of our members to participate, especially if that sounds good to you. Ruth Straub. Oh, wait, before Linda Chu she rang a bell online for Alex Polson. Do we have any other bell ringers, Peter? Can we get Seth on microphone, please? Okay. Well, that's for our online people. Yeah.
I just wanted to, in line with the discussion that you had on DEI, thank Michael for bringing that information back to us. But could you just send us out your slides presentation?
Yeah. I will send those out.
I will know.
Yeah, I will send those out. All right. Seth, that was a bell ring, right? All right. Okay. In the back, we have a bell ring.
I want to ring the bell for Bonnie, our newest Rotarian, because my worlds have collided here. Anne Marie, when she's not with you collecting trash on Sunday morning, she's with me playing soccer. I can ring the bell.
All right. And I apologize. My mind, Joanna Leonard. Thank you, Joanna. And we have a guest.
Okay, on behalf of Trash Falcons, I'd like to ring the bell for Bonnie.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, any others, Peter? Oh, is that Eric Harris?
Yes, I want to ring the bell for the awesome tickets that you gave for the Interfaith Choir concert. It was incredible. So I'm going to ring it twice.
Twice. Thank you, Eric. So, Peter, any others online? No, that's it. Okay. So, Ruth Straub, can you please share what's happening next week?
Fellow Rotarians online and in the ballroom, please bring your checkbooks or your credit cards to next week's Feed the Hungry, where our special speaker is Chef Tamara Dyson of Suli Vegan, who's taken one small vegan soul food restaurant into a much larger enterprise. I hope you will all come hear her story and support our community here in Oakland with your treasures. Thank you.
And she beat Bobby Gray. If we can get our new members and our sponsors to the back of the room as you exit. So yes, also be sure to bring cookies next week and 15 copies of your recipe. Thank you, everyone, and thank you everyone online for participating. And remember, Oakland Rotary is here for you. This meeting is adjourned.